Yo, what is it? B2 Before Pete Gang with Pete Nation, YBP Boxing, YBP MMA, and we're coming at y'all with a full card reaction, just to recap of UFC Saudi Arabia, historic event over there in the Middle East. Some great fights, some great finishes, some also not good performances on earlier portions of the card. But I think overall, I think the UFC did their thing with this event. But yeah, let's just go. We'll start from the top, obviously. Got to give my opinion on this main event, man. I can't lie. When IMAVOV knocked out Adesanya, I was so happy. Like, I was like, yo, like, this is so, like, I know I probably shouldn't be that happy, like, cheering for, like, Adesanya to lose, but, like, I don't know. Through and through, I'm an IZZY hater. Like, do I have respect for him? 100% I do. But at the same time, like, IZZY, I don't know. I just despise him, bro. I don't know. So, seeing him go down like that, it did kind of suck, though, in retrospect. Like, he's a legend of the sport. He carried, the middleweight division on his back, one of the most active champions. So, hats off to him. But, yeah, man, I mean, just talking about the fight, first round, he looked amazing, good leg kicks, good jab, staying active on the feet. He was really coping. I mean, people say that he was, like, slower. I thought he looks, like, slower in the Dricus fight. This fight, I mean, he honestly, maybe slightly slower, but he still looked like he had that, like, maybe not quite as athletic. But I mean, the takedown defense that he had, it did remind me of the athleticism they used in the Whitaker fight to stuff the takedowns, even up against the cage when IMAVOV was like right under him. He was still like stuffing the takedowns, doing a really good job. So, and IMAVOV, to me, that was gonna be a really good sign, because a lot of people just think, oh, Izzy would get taken down by a gust of wind, like he has no defensive grappling. But and this is a really good test, because I don't think IMAVOV is. To me, I think IMAVOV is a pretty mediocre grappler. So, but also, Izzy got taken down by some really poor attempts by Dricus. So, it made you wonder, like, what can IMAVOV do, with his, like, mediocre grappling, like, still, can he be effective in that area of his game? And he wasn't. But where he was able to, make up for that, because it was starting to look like the Cannonier fight a little bit, when Izzy was just teeing off on him. It started to shift, though, when Izzy was on his back foot. The same stuff that he had trouble with against Strickland, IMAVOV was putting him on his back. And this is what I thought would happen. This is why I got to come out with videos on this stuff. But yeah, I predicted IMAVOV to win by knockout. But I thought he would take him down and ground upon him. But I thought he would have success putting Izzy up against the cage and boxing, because I thought IMAVOV had the superior boxing here. And we've seen Izzy have trouble boxing people, So, I mean, the defensive boxer really, like, got exposed tonight. He got it put up against the cage, and then, boom, just got hit with, the first one was the big uppercut, and then IMAVOV just started squaring. And it kind of went down here from there. Start the second round. That happens. They have the eye poke. Izzy tries to pull a Pereira. He's immediately trying to push the referee away to get back into action. In hindsight, I don't know how much that affected the performance. I don't know if, like, how much that, like, contributed to the knockout. I hope it didn't that much, but I don't think it's any excuse, man. I think, Izzy could have taken all the time in the world. He didn't, and he paid the price for it, IMAVOV, I thought in this matchup, had the better boxing. You just can't, I don't even think it's a thing of, like, Izzy's punch resistance, man. It's just a nasty shot to take. I think IMAVOV hits hard. I think Strickland hit Izzy with a shot that, like, caught him off guard. But Strickland don't got that type of power. So IMAVOV, great performance. The guy's an excellent boxer, good, well-rounded game. He can lean to other aspects of his game if he has to. But yeah, I mean, the boxing, man, Izzy, it's been a thing he's been struggling with. Obviously, people said, oh, his boxing looks so much improved, but you're fighting Dricus, like, so of course he's gonna look like a little improved. So this was a really good test to really find out how good that boxing was, how good that defense was. Honestly, I mean, he had his moments when he would get in range, good body shots, kind of, teeing off on IMAVOV. IMAVOV kind of looked frozen, though. He looked like a deer in headlights, but I think maybe he was just trying to get his reads, trying to find that range to eventually put Izzy on his back foot, put him up against the cage, and let off with his boxing. And, once he can find that range, get a boxing range, the uppercuts, the hooks, the, overhand rights, can really, get towards the game. So shout out to IMAVOV for his next fight, I'd love to see him fight, someone like. It's tough, honestly, that's such a good win. And that's a better win than, like, Whitaker on paper. But to be fair, though, Whitaker was coming off the Ikram win. Izzy's coming off of a loss. But, I mean, Izzy, all time, Izzy beat Whitaker, back when they fought. So, it's a tough one. I think Hamza definitely deserves the next title shot. But IMAVOV makes a good case. I think he should, either wait out or fight a guy like Kyle. I think he could beat Kyle, but that's a competitive fight. Or, he could fight, I don't know, he could fight the loser of Strickland and Dricus. A lot of people, maybe take a stay busy fight, but no matter what, man, he's around the title picture with that type of performance. I guess that no one does that to Adesanya, bro. Like, people that beat him, obviously, like Dricus subbed him, but just knocking him out in 2 rounds, like, man. I mean, I saw a lot of people say this on social media. It seems like he gave up. He put his heart and soul into the Pereira win, like, to get that rivalry win. So now he sacrificed his career, But as opposed to Pereira, he lost that rivalry. He came on the losing end. But now he's gone through great things in light heavyweight, become a double champ, create this crazy legacy. So it's just interesting, Even though Pereira lost the battle, he won the war, in the grand scheme of things. But, it's what it is, Izzy's still an all-time great. I think it's just, it's IMAVOV's time. It's the next generation's time. So, honestly, for Izzy, we talk about what he should do next. I think he should honestly retire. Not because he can't. It's not like he can't beat people, but it's like, what are you? It just depends what his goals are. Like, if he's trying to get back to the belt, like, I would retire. I think it's over. If you try, like, to continue, because, like, you thought this was bad. Like, what do you think Kyle would do to him? Kyle will probably take him down, and then he could also maybe land some good shots in the feet because his striking looks amazing too. Yeah, it just depends. I mean, you could give him a guy like Shara Bullet. I know I like that idea. I was calling for him to fight Shara, but you can't really give him Shara after he just lost to MVP. We'll talk about that. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with Izzy. Because he's such a big name, such a big star, and I think he's really good to the point where he could beat, like, a lot of those lower guys, but it seems like he would get starched still in an elite matchup. But Izzy is very goal-oriented, win-oriented. He wants to be the best in the world. He's very thoughtful. He likes to do stuff for a purpose. His purpose this fight was, being the gatekeeper and proving people wrong, and go out there and showing people that he can still do it. But when you lose that reasoning, but he did say, though, in the press conference, he said, it's fine. I don't need to, chase the belts. The belt chases me, and I'm still fighting because I'm a good fighter and I can still get paychecks. So if he is operating under that mindset, shoot, I mean, why not? Keep doing it. You could be like the new Andre Arlovsky, but to me, I could never see Adesanya in that mold. Maybe, but I just think he's that's why when he fought IMAVOV, that was scheduled, because all we've seen Izzy in is big fights, star fights, main events. So seeing him as like an Andre Arlovsky, like, type of, fighting, being that gatekeeper, like, this is very interesting spot to be in for Izzy. You have to make some tough decisions coming soon, but all the best to him. I just spent way too much time on that fight. All right, MVP and Shara Bullet Magomedov. I was all in on MVP. I thought MVP would go out there and put a masterclass on Shara. I just thought, man, Shara. I've always said Shara's like just mid. Like, I don't think he's that good. I still think he's probably better than I give him credit for. But like I said, like, his boxing needs work. I think if he had some solid boxing, that could have helped him out a lot in this fight. But he's a kicker. I honestly thought he didn't kick enough. I thought when he had Michael Venom Page up against the cage, he didn't throw enough at all. He didn't kick enough, like I said. And, yeah, I think he just left too much to be. I think he just got kind of scared. Like, he was too intimidated by what Page was about to do, what he was about to throw. And, he just got sucked into that Michael Venom Page game. Like, he does these things to people where, someone like Ian Gary will throw, I don't know, land 90 strikes or, throw way more strikes in previous performances. You go against MVP, your volume is completely shattered. Like, I don't even think Shara landed like 40 strikes. Like, he just does these to people. And Page, he's barely landing anything too, but when he does land, it's with significance, and he makes you feel something. He's darting inside and outside of range. He's frustrating you. So Page just has a way to really. I've never seen anybody look good against him. Even it's gonna be really tough. Even if it's a good wrestler, a good grappler, a solid striker, like, it's just hard to look good in the MVP fight because his style's so weird. It's hard to you watch it on TV. You're just like, oh, you could just easily do this, and then you get in front of him. He goes from 0 to 100 so quickly. The acceleration, the speed, the timing. Yeah, it's a tough thing to deal with. So shout out to MVP, man. I never had a doubt. Even at 39 years old, he could beat the best of the best guys. For MVP, I've been saying it. I want to see him fight Leon next. That's a very good fight. Just amazing. You put it in the UK. Obviously, but honestly, I think they could do that, win or lose against JDM. Obviously, if Leon wins, that's probably harder to make, but I think he can still do it. Because Leon, I think he's still away from that title because he just lost to Below in a pretty boring and disappointing performance. So, but if he loses, especially, you put that in the UK, that's a banger, man. And then for Shara Bullet, I want to see him go against I don't know what you're doing. I've been saying this. I want to see him go against like Bo Nickel, but because it'd just be the ultimate Colchester Styles. But I mean, I didn't really think about this one, to be honest. So off the top of my head, Shara Bullet, he could fight I think Adesanya's not a bad name. I think who's that middleweight? Paulo Costa. But that still feels like you're rewarding him. So I don't know. I'd have to look. I'd have to look and see. But there's gotta be some unranked guy. Maybe he could fight what's his name? He could fight Zach Reese. I don't know. That seems like it could be interesting. Because Zach Reese can grapple, he can strike. You give him that test, so he can really, prove he's a well-rounded guy. But yeah, I don't know. You could go in Shara with a lot of directions, but just keep him. You probably just put him in another fun fight, for sure. Sergey Pavlovich and Jairzinho Rosenstrike. My bad. Yeah, a pretty boring fight. I don't have too much to say about this. Rosenstrike, surprisingly got taken down. I don't think he expected to have to face that in this fight. But, it is what it is. Pavlovich showing some evolution to his game. He can wrestle, and he can win decisions. He's not just gassing out. So that was pretty cool to see. But neither of these guys make me excited for any future heavyweight fights. This one, the Cyril Gane and Volkov fight, it just seems like there isn't, good, new, exciting blood in the heavyweight division. It just goes to show how important a John Jones, Tom Aspinall fight needs to be for just the economy of the division, the health of the division, honestly. So, because Pavlovich, he used to be that killer, that guy knocking everybody out. It seems like ever since he got knocked out, he's lost that, allure, that, blood-hungry, style. So, I predicted, maybe this could be his Ngannou moment. Ngannou lost to, I forgot who he lost to, but, Lewis, and then it was Stipe, and you just saw he revolutionized his game to be way more controlled, implement the wrestling as well, and not just crash out and throw 100 shots, because he could do that and knock a ton of people out, but that's not. But even Sergey's style initially was pretty methodical, but he's not letting his hands go as much, for sure. But yeah, man, and Rosenstrike, he's back to, just staring into the wind and not throwing anything. Crazy lack of volume, like Manel Kopp levels. But Manel Kopp can throw when he wants to. You saw the volume that he threw at his last fight against the Bruto Silva guy. Even though that guy was like a punching bag, this is way more consequential if you make a mistake. So I will give him that. That's a caveat, but he's got to be better in these spots, especially not just laying on your back. Got to be prepared for everything. So, Sergey, I don't know. I think he should still fight down again. I don't know what the name would be. Maybe just I don't know, he's got to fight down because I want to see if Pavlovich is going to be fighting like this. I think he's a lot more beatable, to be honest. Like I could honestly see Mick Parkin maybe having some success. Like even like Gatziev. I know that's crazy to say, but I don't know. Like this new Pavlovich is just not like as dangerous. This is not the Pavlovich that I picked to beat Aspinall. So yeah, interesting developments. Yeah, yawn like crazy. Okay. Next one, we got Vinicius Oliveira versus Said Nurmagomedov. Oh, great fight, man. Vinicius is growing on me. Obviously, he had that knockout against Bernardo Sapai, but just dangerous striking. Towards the end of the fight, it got kind of like sloppy. You know, both guys were tired. Same with the Ziam and Davis fight, but yeah, man. I mean, both these guys got to work on their conditioning a little bit. I think it's got fight of the night, so shout out to both these guys. But yeah, good striking. Said, always chasing that guillotine. Vinicius always dangerous, you know, some flashy shots. But it just showed to, you know, through the end, you know, it just became a war of attrition. You know, who wanted it more? And Vinicius bit down his mouthpiece, you know, landed some good right hands, left hands, uppercuts, spinning kicks, you know, pushed the pace. And when he would get taken, if he did get taken down, got right back up, and he would take down Said too. So, and land those damaging shots. So, really good performance by Vinicius. Close fight. But, yeah, Vinicius got it. Faris Ziam versus Mike Davis. I think I missed these next two fights, but I saw a little bit of the Ziam and Davis fight. People were saying that Davis didn't look the same. I just think people need to put respect on Ziam's name, man. He went out there. He's starting to show that he's not the guy that got taken down multiple times by Claudio Puelles. He's a very good striker as well on the feet. So I mean, it's gonna be hard to beat this guy, man, because he can fight in any aspect of the game. And the French prospects that are coming up, they're starting to really build, you know, a dynasty over there. I think France is gonna be the next MMA powerhouse for years to come. Ziam, man, I mean, really good performance. You know, Davis is a really good grappler himself, and Ziam, you know, good jiu-jitsu by Davis. But, you know, Ziam just completely stifled that, you know, for all 3 rounds. So, really, really mature performance, really gutsy performance by Ziam, and I can't wait to see what he can do with the top 15 at the lightweight division. I missed the Naimov Khan Oakley fight. I wish I saw it. I probably won't be rewatching it, though. But shout out to Naimov. Yeah. Gatziev, Thomas Peterson. Thomas Peterson, you know, he's from Minnesota, so, you know, from where I'm from. So it sucks to see him lose like that. But, yeah, man, I mean, for the first portion of the fight, it looked like Peterson, how do I say this? Like, it looked like he was matching, like, Gatsiev's speed. He was, you know, ducking a level, so he was getting ready, kind of threatening with the takedown, but also he dropped his level so that he might not be able to get taken down. So he looked ready. He looked for the challenge, but Gatsiev early on, too, I don't know. He looks so fast. He looks so fast in there. Looks so fast, so much bigger. The one moment of success that Thomas had that was kind of surprising was when he took him down, but then Gatsiev got immediately back up and then just caught him bad, like just a nasty right hook, and that was it. So, man, I don't know. Gatsiev, you know he could do this, though, because if you've seen his, like, tape pre-UFC, he can do this to these blobby heavyweights. Obviously, he lost to Rosenstrike, but that's Rosenstrike, you know. That's an elite heavyweight. But a guy like this, I thought it would go a little longer, though. I thought it would go to a decision. I thought we'd see some wrestling, someone get on top. But I don't think Peterson. I think people were disrespecting Peterson's wrestling. So, but yeah, but I also think people maybe have been disrespecting Gatsiev striking, man. The guy can crack, and he can knock out this caliber heavyweight. So, yeah, shout out to Gatsiev, man. McKinney, Damir Hadzovic, not much to say here. Shout out to McKinney. He's, you know, he's doing his thing. He's grappling more. So it's good to see he's not just, I mean, honestly, for the first portion of the fight, he was, like, doing that thing where he just, like, throws 100 punches. But, yeah, man, I mean, we know him. He's a round 1 fighter. And he went out there, got the back. I mean, some impressive grappling. He was on the bottom, and then he reverses Damir Hadzovic. And then gets in the back, man, just starts pounding it. They gave Damir so many chances to do something, and he couldn't get out of the position. So Shout out to McKinney, man. Like I said, anytime he's grappling, you love to see it because that's just the evolution of his game. He's no longer this kid who's just like only resorts to throwing 100 punches and just striking on the feet. He can do that, but now he can also grapple. So at a pretty decent level, like a pretty high level. So yeah, I'm not saying that he's gonna like be any like world beater. I mean, he did still like lose to. Now Saudi Cubs is a really good fighter though, so no wrong there. No crazy like evolution. This is probably what he should have done to him. He was a -800 favorite. So Jasmine Jastovicius versus Mayra Bueno Silva. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. You know, you gotta feel for Mayra Bueno Silva because she was literally just in a bantamweight title shot. I know a lot of people were picking her. I was picking her. And now she's losing to Jasmine Jastovicius. Now, I mean, I don't know. The latter half of that fight, like, she just completely, let me watch my language, but she kind of just, like, pooped the bed, like, really bad takedown defense. She kind of just let Jastovicius take her down at some points. And then when she did a really good job to get sub-attempts off her back, but then she wouldn't use them to get up. She was legitimately trying to submit her for some reason. Even though when they were on the feet, she was clearly the better striker, clearly the heavier hitter. But yeah, I mean, but honestly, that advantage started to wane as the rounds went on because Mayra was so tired. She kind of looked slower. And just Vicious was starting to, you know, get a feel for her range, get a feel on, you know, how Mayra Bueno Silva fights. So she started having success. And then obviously that takedown threat. So that's the Vicious, man. Really, really good performance by her. She's starting to. I know she said she wanted to be the female GSP. Like she can be that, you know, because Mike Malott, you know, he's not doing anything crazy. I know they got Kyle Nelson over there. They got some good Canadians, but Just Vicious could be that really beacon of women's MMA over there in Canada. So shout out to her. Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander. Really good fight. Comeback win for Bogdan Grad in the first round. He was getting picked apart from range. Some really good striking from Alexander. I saw some clips. People were clipping from the fight where he had that like it was a left kick to a body shot to an uppercut. So really good exchanges from Lucas Alexander. But the grappling, I mean, Grad would not stop. He would not stop going for the takedowns. And it was looking kind of bad. It looked like Alexander was just going to stuff the takedowns, just stay at range and knock him out. But Grad didn't stop. And once he finally broke Alexander's will and got him to the ground, it was not looking good for Alexander. Man, he started shelling up. Grad was able to, you know, stay in mount with all the, you know, stuff going against him in the earlier part of the fight. He was able to make, because it was looking like, I don't know what to liken this to, but pretty much he would get him down, but he couldn't control him for like when he could take him down in the first round, but it just looked like he couldn't keep him down. And then he would get reversed and then have damage rain down on him. So it was like all the work they just did to get the takedown was just for nothing. And then he would get taken over. It's like he did all the hard work, and all I gotta do is just move to the left a little bit, you know, just rain down shots. But he did a better job of, you know, having control. I think Lucas Alexander was maybe a little bit tired. Lost his will to, you know, explode out of positions like he was in the first round. And Grad was able to pound on him, man. Like, just kind of do what was the other guy's name? Who was that on that card? McKinney. Kind of do what McKinney did. So, good mature performance by Bogdan Grad. And, yeah, Lucas Alexander, I think he's kind of a fraud. I don't know why he was a favorite in this fight, but pick 'em fight, though. Pick 'em fight. You could say Lucas, there was a path for him to win. And then Hamdi Abdelwahad versus Jamal Pogues. Yeah, I need to stop saying so much. I actually gotta stop. I haven't made a video in a while, so I was improving on that, but now it's kind of coming back. So we're gonna stop that. For this whole last breakdown, I'm not gonna say, okay. Hamdi Abdelwahad versus Jamal Pogues. Very interesting fight at heavyweight. Jamal Pogues, I feel like his style gives it. It's hard to judge some of Pogues' fights because he's obviously having the success, but it's not huge moments. It's a jab, point to your face, you know. So if Hamdi had a little more success or, you know, had a little more moments, I say all this to say, basically, Jamal fights in pretty small margins. Hamdi kept the fight pretty close. I can't call it a robbery, but I feel like Jamal Pogues won. I don't know. I can't really quantify it, but you just saw, like, I don't know. Hamdi didn't even think he won. Pogues was just landing the better shots. But I can see why the judges might not have given it to Hamdi. Might have not given it to Jamal Pogues. But it's just like he won that fight for sure. He just needs to be better about pushing the pace, putting Hamdi on his back foot, and putting a stamp on these rounds that he's winning. That's all it really is. I just think his style just gives it. You know, it's hard to really give him credit sometimes. But yeah, I thought Jamal won. I thought he won every single round, but especially round one, I thought. But they scored 29-28, so I guess it was. Like, it's not like they did the whole other way. So like, they probably did give him a round, but I don't know. I'm not gonna cry robbery though because I watched the fight. I mean, it's not like Pogues was like he won, but he didn't like win by like 15 points. Like he won, but it wasn't like so clear. Like he won like in a Strickland way. So you can, if you squint a little bit, you could maybe give it to Hamdi Abdelwahad just because like Pogues just like fights in such small margins, like so. And they're in Egypt, like you gotta know that. Or no, they're in Saudi Arabia, so they might give it to the guy who's close to that region. So Pogues just gotta be better about that. But yeah, that's it. You know, overall, really good card. Definitely gonna try to rewatch some of these fights. You know, see what. Probably not. I'm not gonna rewatch all these fights, but I want to rewatch IMAVOV and Adesanya because he looked so good in that first round. But yeah, he just got caught. So yeah, that's all I really got for y'all today. This is a very good day of combat sports. This is just one of the videos. Obviously, I watch a ton of stuff. I watched the Royal Rumble. I probably don't watch enough wrestling, enough WWE. Probably should watch more of that in the future because I think this is so entertaining, storylines and all that type of stuff. Especially when there's no like UFC on, but usually UFC's on, so I don't really be too invested. But yeah, that Royal Rumble was very interesting to see it. Jey Uso win. But yeah, that's not even on topic for the video. I'm just yapping. But yeah, really good day of combat sports. You know, you have the Royal Rumble. You had David Benavidez and David Morrell. Really good fight there too. And UFC Saudi Arabia. So shout out to IZZY. Shout out to IMAVOV. Shout out to Michael Venom Page. Shout out to Charlotte Bullet. Shout out to Benicio Oliveira. Shout out to Gatsiev. Shout out to McKinney. Shout out to Bogdan Grad. Shout out to Jamal Pogues, man. They robbed you, man. Leave a like and resubscribe. Peace out, much. It is. Oh, that was bad.